Welcome back to the Gamecocks Football Captain's Log, sponsored by Morris Island Charters. I'm here with the captain of Morris Island Charters, Captain Petey. Captain Petey, how are you doing?
Better than expected, you know.
Yes. So, lost to LSU 36-33. You nailed it with the Dolphins and the entertainment porpoises, where you did think it would be within a touchdown. This was kind of a ridiculous game. I know we were actually out fishing and listening to it on the radio for part of the game, and everything was going great. Got out to a 17-0 lead, and then things didn't go so great. So we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to go the good, the bad, and the ugly. Captain Petey, what was the good for you from the LSU game?
The good was seeing kind of Sellers and our offense really come into some type of, consistent production and being like big play threats. That is something I haven't seen this year. And it came out of nowhere, in my opinion.
Sellers, before getting hurt, 9 for 16, 113 yards, did have an interception, more fumble issues for both of the quarterbacks. Yeah. But also 88 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground, had the 75-yard touchdown run that I believe he broke that off as you were catching a fish, which was the most impressive synergy I'd ever seen. That was impressive. Yeah. And Rocket Sanders, incredible.
So Rocket has just become more of a power back than I expected him to be. He's just refusing to go down, and I love it. I love seeing a running back that plays like that. My only criticism of Rocket right now is that he is absolutely terrible at pass blocking, which, fine, but let's just stop using him that way.
Yeah, he fits in with the offensive line and the receivers blocking on the perimeter. Although they're bad at run blocking, not pass blocking. Rocket, which past Gamecock running back does he remind you the most of?
That's a good question. Let's go through them.
Yeah.
It would be...
Let's see, like the last really good one, I feel like we had Kevin Harris.
Yeah. He's kind of becoming like... He's actually becoming like Mario last year.
That's true.
Just coming on, it's building later, and we didn't really, expect it from him. He is big. Was it 230 pounds, 225 pounds?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's a big guy to get on the ground. Also, it's hard to tell how state the obvious. LSU's defense is absolutely dog shit.
That's true. Yes, we did talk about that. So it's not like some of it could be fool's gold, but I do.
Yeah,
he's produced in the SEC before, so I will give him the benefit of the doubt before, certainly. But it is nice to have a guy and know you have a guy heading into the season and not running out poor Dak Joyner up the middle over and over again.
Yeah.
So that's progress. What else did you like?
So our defensive line was just absolutely incredible for the first 2 quarters. And then LSU kind of just figured out how to. Probably halfway through the second quarter, they figured out, how to negate that pass rush. I really love being able to see our guys get in the backfield almost immediately. That's something we've missed for the last 10 years. And obviously we're kind of one-dimensional on defense, and LSU figured that out. But, hey, at least we got something.
Yeah. And we talked about it on the boat too. Like Brian Kelly, as much as I personally hate Brian Kelly, he is a great football coach. So if anyone's going to figure out if you're putting up 2 coaching staffs in terms of making in-game adjustments, the edge is not going to go our way.
No.
Ever.
No.
Unfortunately.
And heaven forbid anything goes wrong with us, that we lose, a guy gets injured. What happens?
Let's skip so that might be the bad for me, if not the ugly.
Yeah.
What was that? Robbie Ashford comes in for Lenoris. Everything shuts down.
We absolutely have no faith in him throwing the ball, obviously. So we don't even try, and then just keep giving the ball back to LSU for the entire second half, and just can't sustain drives. We just are depending on our defense to make plays. And to their credit, they did, but we also had some really dumb penalties. Some of them I agree with, some of them I don't agree with quite so much. But just our inability to, one, we don't have the durability as far as like Sellers staying in games. He's gone out the last 2 games with injuries. We don't have the depth. When these star guys come or get hurt or have to come out for a spell, who's backing them up? And it's not a 1-to-1, or close of a. We're not able to keep the same game plan apparently when one guy goes down. So I'm scared if something happens to Rocket, then we're going to be really fucked. And we don't have any type of system in place. So if this thing happens, what do we do then? We don't have a back. We have this one game plan, and if it doesn't go right, we're fucked.
It did seem weird, like you're saying, like Lenoris had gone out before.
Yeah.
And so you would think that would at least be in the back of your mind, like, okay, we do have to prepare in case he goes out again. It also scares me a little bit.
Especially if he's got 75 yards rushing in the first half. Our game plan all year has been him running half the time. He's basically a second running back and a quarterback. So I don't. You can't expect him to last all year in an SEC conference.
That is kind of scary with Lenoris, who is obviously the better quarterback option. Well, I'm very confident in that now. But as a passer, not really there yet. As a runner, doesn't seem particularly durable, even though he is a fantastic runner.
Yeah.
That scares me a lot, knowing what we look like with Ashford in. Did you get the feeling, was it like Dow Loggins just, his play calling, completely terrible with Ashford in, because he didn't have confidence in Ashford? How much of that was like, Ashford looked pretty scared himself. When I saw him in there, I was like, this guy doesn't appear to want to be in there, which was weird to me because it's not like he hadn't played in the SEC before.
Yeah, he's played like 10 games at Arkansas, things like that, or Auburn. I mean, so it's been a couple years ago, so he's not fresh. He doesn't have a lot of any recent experience other than a drive or two against Kentucky.
Yeah.
But obviously we don't have faith in him, so we got really conservative play calling, just trying to, hopefully bleed the clock out, I guess, seemed like. Our defense is playing well, so it's not exactly, game killer but you have to be able to keep LSU honest. And I don't know what to do.
So this is a pet peeve I have as a sports fan, football, basketball, whatever. When the underdog starts playing conservatively, I cannot stand that. When they're just trying to hold on, I'd rather we had gone out and lost with Ashford throwing 17 interceptions.
Yeah. Now, here's another question. Why, if we don't have faith in Ashford throwing the ball, why do we not bring in Luke Doty, who has started games in the SEC? It's been a while, but he's still in the quarterback room. He's still on the depth chart as potential quarterback. Why are we not using him? I mean, is he that much worse than Ashford?
I would find that hard to believe.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I would find that hard to believe. It kind of reminds me of the Beamer year where finally in the bowl game he started Dak Joyner at quarterback. It was like, oh, we've had a quarterback this whole time. It's kind of the same vibe.
Yeah, we're just. I don't know what to think about. It's like we feel like we promised Ashford the backup job.
That's what it is, and it's scary. I know coaches lie, but the fact that they were talking like Ashford could have possibly been the starter for as long as they did in preseason. How? Like, I did not see a starting quarterback on Saturday.
Not this Saturday.
No.
But if you look at how Sellers played against Old Dominion, I could see that maybe being the thing. But obviously that was not true this Saturday. It was not.
I just couldn't believe it.
So, not that Sellers didn't make mistakes. He certainly did, but he's making less mistakes than he was. He's still throwing the ball high, still not protecting the ball when he should. Throwing the ball away. It's just whenever he gets pressure in his face, it seems to be one of those things he makes bad decisions. He doesn't want to protect the ball, throw it away, or take the sack.
Yeah. It feels more justifiable when he messes up too, because you're like, okay, young guy, future of the program. You give him more leeway. Ashford comes in, who you're expecting to be, okay, this is the experienced guy. He's going to do something. And he looks the way he looked. Like, goodness, what in the fuck? I just couldn't believe it.
Should be making better decisions, out of Ashford. He had the same situation. Also, play calling was not great. That last, I don't know if I think it was the second to last drive when he took the sack and fumble. Why are we on 3rd and 11? Why are we doing just a drop back with him? Obviously, that's not his strong suit. What? Like, put him out on the perimeter, do an RPO, get some kind of action play. Obviously, if we just put him back there and let them rush right at him, that's not going to go well. He might escape the pocket, in which he did a couple times, but why not set him up for success? Why not play a call that's better suited to his skill set?
Yeah, that was not the next to last drive, but the second to last drive. He ended up with the fumble there. But yeah, because the drive after that, we punted after going 2 yards in 3 plays. I find that to not be ideal. And we were backed up on our 10 to start that drive, and you could see the panic in everybody. You could feel Dow Loggins get the butterflies in his stomach.
Yeah.
Because he was like, oh, shit, we're going to turn it over and give him great field position, this, that, and the other. So let's just run it up the middle a couple times and punt.
Yeah. The reason we were in that situation is because we made a fantastic 4th down stop on the goal line, which is fantastic. I haven't seen that happen in a long time with us.
Yeah.
But that happened because Nussmeier can't fucking run.
Yeah.
We steamrolled whoever the running back was for them right into his face, and he just fell down.
Yeah. So I guess the ugly for me, the play, like we've been talking play calling, the last drive to play for a long field goal to tie. If I'd known that, I would have had you drive the boat out to the middle of the ocean, and I would have just jumped off, never to be seen again.
Yeah, we had, I think we ran like 20 seconds off the clock before we tried to kick it, and just like, come on, take a shot. We've been lucky all game. We've gotten a lot of breaks go our way, some not go our way. But hey, if we go into overtime with LSU at home with a backup quarterback? Why are we taking that risk? Let's win it or lose it right now.
Just absolutely ridiculous. 49-yard field goal might as well have been 79 yards. Yeah. But
which I thought he made it. I thought that was going in until it just went.
As much as I know about Gamecock football and college kickers, I just knew that wasn't it.
Yeah. Well, I texted the group chat like in the fourth, the start of the fourth quarter. Like, I have no doubt we're losing this game.
It was really impressive because you could just see it coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
What was about to happen.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely terrible. But I don't know why you would play for the tie in that situation when you clearly don't trust this man to throw the ball. Is he gonna was Sellers gonna come back in for overtime? Like, was Ashford gonna develop into a better quarterback in that little break they have? Why would you play for the tie in that situation?
Just get our tall guys and our fast guys downfield quickly, throw it outside, to the edge, and hopefully they make a catch and get in the end zone, or either catch and step out of bounds. But Jesus, put fucking Harbor on the field and let him go to town.
Yes, because I think he threw it to Bennett and it was incomplete. And then after that, they were like, well, we're in field goal range, kind of. So they just ran Rocket up the middle for like 1 extra yard to center the ball. Called timeout, came out to kick it.
Yeah.
But you should lose a game when you call the plays like that.
Absolutely.
Like, that's ridiculous.
On a 49-yard field goal in college?
It felt like Will Muschamp was back. Like, that's that kind of just conservative. Like, if Beamer's going to be here, then he's got to at least be aggressive doing things. I mean, he's so fired up on the sideline all the time. Yell at Dow Loggins to throw the ball down the field. Get picked off there. Just get picked off if you're going to do it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that was the only way we're going to win this game, was being aggressive. And we were aggressive for the first 2 quarters.
Yeah. And then what happened?
As soon as Sellers goes out, we stopped being aggressive. We just got into complacency mode. And, let's just not turn the ball over and try and play field position. That bit us in the ass.
It seemed like we were shocked that we were winning the game.
For sure.
And we're like, oh, shit. Like, we got to try to protect this. And that's how you lose games. It's very, very cool.
Yeah. As soon as we went up 17-0, we got a little complacent there. It's like, oh, we're going to run away with this. But then LSU woke up, and they just slowly, methodically came back and got it, made it the game. And there's a lot of calls in that. I mean, if you want to talk about the refs, there's a lot of calls in that game that didn't make a lot of sense. But it is what it is. This is college refereeing.
Yeah. And with that, it's clearly terrible. But also, if you get up 17-0, you should still figure out how to pull it off.
Yeah, what you're doing has been working. Even if Ashford comes in, and you still have to keep with that same strategy, because that strategy is working. You got to keep at it. We had a lot of things go. We had 2 defensive touchdowns called back.
Yeah, and that was brutal, and made me want to put my head through a wall, but I didn't. But yeah, that was terrible. Obviously, a completely different game. If even one of those counts.
Yeah. Which that last one, they called, I don't know, was a personal foul when
it was like a horse collar.
Well, that was earlier.
That was the other one.
Yeah, but that the last one where it was a pick 6, I think Eamon Mori got it. But Kennard hit Nussmeier after the pick was made. He's not a quarterback anymore. You're allowed to hit him.
You're blocking.
Once we have the ball and we're running with it, you're allowed to hit him. It's not like you there's no rushing the passer after the pick has already been thrown.
Yeah. And so just pathetic showing by the refs. They were the ugliest of them all.
Yeah, we had 13 penalties for 123 yards.
Jesus. So the fact that we were even within 3 points with a chance to tie, even as pathetic as that was to just play for the tie and go to overtime after all that, is incredible. We have Akron coming up this week. I was just checking before we started recording. Haven't seen anything on Sellers. If I had to bet, he'll probably sit out, and we'll see Ashford this week. 7:30 Saturday, ESPNU. Last check, we were favored by 28. What are the Dolphins? say where are they putting their entertainment porpoises, guessing that Ashford's going to be the starting quarterback this weekend?
So I actually did see something right before we got on that Sellers is not supposed to miss any time. But I just saw a headline. I didn't have time to read it or anything. But I would not expect him to play a lot. And I think that spread is just an overreaction to how we played this Saturday, which is very common for us to play up to our competition and play down to our competition. So at 28 points, the Dolphins are going to hammer Akron this weekend. Put all of your entertainment purposes on Akron.
You've heard it here first from the Dolphins. And we got just a real hell of a stretch coming up.
Yeah.
Ole Miss, Bama, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, depending on how you feel about them. How do you feel heading into this stretch versus how you felt before the season heading into this stretch? Do you feel better or worse?
I feel better. I think these games will be more competitive, but we're not winning them. We're just not.
Yeah.
I don't know really who Oklahoma is or A&M. Like Oklahoma, well, I guess we'll find out this weekend when Oklahoma plays Tennessee.
Tennessee, yeah.
But I don't know that A&M has really played a lot of much competition. I think they blew out Florida this weekend, but Florida is not a good team.
No.
And then we get Vandy, then Mizzou. So Vandy, they started out good. I don't know what they are, but they'll probably play us well. And then Missouri might be one of the best teams in the conference as well. So I think that they're ranked 6th, 8th,
7th.
Yeah. It's you play in the SEC. This is what you're going to have to deal with every year, and I feel like we have the hardest schedule consistently every
1,000%
year. I do feel better about us playing Clemson though. I feel a lot better about us playing Clemson.
Yeah, especially with the pass rushing. But
I think their offense sucks, and they still have a great defense. But okay.
Yeah, we should be able to at least hang close enough to maybe shock them.
Yeah, it might be like same as it was last year.
Yeah,
it's absolutely terrible to watch, but we'll see.
I really think I've got my eye on the A&M game.
Yeah.
I don't think that is a good team. Now that's the furthest one of those 4 that we've talked about. So they've got some time to figure some things out. But as of right now, that one looks winnable to me at home. I hope it's a night game. I believe we're going to be at that one, actually.
Yeah, that's right. Was it November 2nd?
2nd, yep. And let's see. So at Bama and at Oklahoma, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, that is going to be a rough month. What I really hope is just can we keep guys healthy?
Yeah. Yep, you just want guys to be healthy and you want to see some development. It's like we talked about in like the season preview where we could possibly improve and not see it show up in the record because this is ridiculous who we're playing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that offense at Ole Miss is going to be hard to slow down.
Yeah.
Alabama, I don't really know what Alabama is at the moment, but they've got a shit ton of guys that can play.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma we'll figure out this weekend probably.
Yeah, so we'll see, but Akron and then a bye week heading into Ole Miss. Ole Miss is at home. Gives us a little bit of some prep time. We'll see. We're not known, as we talk about every week, not known for our adjustments, but hey, maybe this is the year.
Yeah. Well, we know that Kiffin's going to make adjustments.
Yeah. That should be the slogan for Gamecock football is maybe this is the year. It never is, but That's great. You can reuse it. You just buy all your merch in bulk and you just keep every year just maybe this is the year.
Yeah. Well, we were talking earlier how we could have just, if we had been doing this show for the last 10 years, it just would have been, we could have just done one show.
Yeah.
We played the entire.
It's just use AI just to switch out the team name.
Yeah.
Could be the same show every week.
Yep.
So, what didn't we cover? Do we need to cover anything else?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure we crushed it.
Yeah. We're awesome as we always are.
Yeah, that's true. So, if you want an awesome boat tour from the world's greatest sea captain Gamecock football analyst, check out MorrisIslandCharter.com. That's going to be in the show notes. Other than that, we will catch y'all. What's that?
Come see the undefeated Dolphins.
The undefeated Dolphins, they're out there. He'll take you. He's good at angling the boat so you get the natural lighting for your pictures. Really puts on quite a show out there. It's very impressive. He's like the anti-Dowell Loggins of boat captains.
Yeah, they might tell you who to pick in this weekend's games or next weekend's games.
Yeah.
So
get out there. All right. That will do it. We will catch y'all next week.
Bye.